Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game, and we are returning to Rule the Waves 3. We're just coming out of a major war, World War, which we arguably, I want to say, won. So, things are looking great in a couple of senses. In a couple of senses, not so much. The big problem is our monthly budget has been reduced by around 50%. So, we are really struggling on the monetary front. I've done a couple of things off screen here to deal with that. Let's talk about that. And most importantly, I have set all of our air groups to be reserve. So these guys are really standing down. All of the ships that we've got in service that are currently in Northeast Asia are put on reserve or even mothballed. Notably, the Rotner here, we're going to need to talk about that one in a moment. Most of our other ships are coming home so that they're going to be a little bit cheaper. We will need to remember to return a couple of ships from the North Pacific as well. We've also not conducting any research right now. So that's the bad thing. That enables us to just come out of this with some positive funds. Of course, all of our ship construction here has been halted as well. So yeah, we'll need to see about that. On the other hand, we are now the masters of the Central Pacific. The Americans don't have any base here anymore. That is pretty fantastic if you ask me. We are also kicked them out of Southeast Asia, so the Americans really concentrated on here now. And we've got a couple of bases still, Eritrea, Burma, and even West Africa. We've lost the one in the Caribbean, but you know what, that's fine. We still got a couple of presences in the Mediterranean, so I think that's gonna be okay. Let's hit the next turn here, see what's gonna happen. We'll need to deal with a couple of things here as we're coming out of that. By the way, notice that we're not conducting any intel anymore. So there's that. Right, yeah, we can think about that. Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's only fighters. It's pretty much only fighters. And AA plays a very small role in our losses anymore. So I think we'll need to change our air groups a little bit. Right, not much happening. Okay, monthly balance is starting to look a lot better now. And that's mostly because a couple of our ships here are now at home. So we're going to put all of these guys here in the reserve fleet to see how things are going to look then. And then I think we've got a couple of people here in the North Pacific somewhere. Central Pacific somewhere. Can I sort that differently? Can I do it by sort of active status or something? You guys, why are you not mothballed? You should be mothballed. Reserved, actually. Mothball is maybe a little bit too aggressive. But we are starting to see some good money now, so that's pretty nifty. Right, you guys are all in the Northern Pacific. Let's bring you home. And then we're going to see what we can do. I think I want to specifically start to build... I always miss this Northeast Asia thing there. There we go. Right, you're coming all home now, that's great. A couple of guys still in the Northern Pacific, that's all good. Everyone else is doing okay. 14 million is what we're going to have next time around. Let's resume the construction of this guy at least, so that he's going to come online at the same time. And you know what, you can also be continuing a reconstruction there. Monthly balance is starting to look a lot better. Newer version of the jet attack aircraft, what's the difference here? I can't really spot any. The range seems to be the same, the speed seems to be the same. Maneuverability and toughness, okay, you can carry slightly better light bombs. But the heavy bomb load, which is really what we're interested in, is going to be the same. So, not much of a difference, to be honest. Right, let's resume the construction of our second carrier. Now we are talking about a lot less money here. But that's going to be alright too. Right. What did I hit? Did I hit the next turn button? Oh, I did. Well, that's unfortunately. That's not what I intended to do. That's not a 4-inch gun. But, yeah. I hit a button here that I didn't intend to hit on the keyboard. Right. It's going to be alright. It's going to be losing a little bit of money, but it's not too bad. Right. Okay. Now, you guys. Can you please go to reserve fleet? Yeah. Thank you. Let's talk about the location. You have foreign services, everyone else is Northeast Asia. We should have a couple of guys here in the Northern Pacific. Ooh, actually a carrier here, so yeah, you definitely need to come home. Towards Northeast Asia. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Right, you guys are still building your stuff. That's alright. We've got a bit of money now. So what I would like to do is look at the Indomitable. And let's just see what we can do here to make this ship better. And this is, of course, something that we took over from the Brits, which we'll need to look at for a different thing as well. So you've got 4 4-inch gun in four quadruple 16-inch guns. Jesus, that's difficult. Right, you cannot be upgraded. That's okay. Let's get that back up because I think sometimes it changes that. You've got 8 medium radar directors. That's fine. You've got a couple of medium AA guns, radar directed, AA directors. That's all fun and good. I don't think you need that many tertiary guns and or secondary guns. I would like to give you spacious accommodation. That's okay. Do we need new machinery on you? How much would that save us? Quite a bit. It's of course super expensive. 32 million. It is something that I could afford, mind you. Right, you don't have any torpedoes, that's fine. You've got decent radar. You've got a catapult, which I don't think is going to be that useful. So, to be honest, we're going to get rid of all of this stuff. Save you a little bit of, you know what, we're going to change the approach here. So, first of all, go spacious. And I would really love for that to be a button to replace the order to replace the machinery, but there is none. Right, okay, let's get rid of the seaplane helicopter thing and make it spacious. That's okay, that already works. Obviously, I would like to add a couple of missile launchers. We are, of course, going to add some surface-to-surface things. And now we can go a little bit more crazy here because we can now do some midship stuff. So I'm not entirely sure. Let's add a couple of things here and see how they would work. I don't think aft wings, I think forward wings are what I'm looking for here. Right, so let's look at the missile arcs here. The center ones can fire towards either side, whereas the other ones can fire forward. The turrets are superimposed, so you are really a forward fighter in a way. Weight doesn't seem to be different, so... By the way, would that be legal? It would. Right, so let's get rid of the centerline things. And have a couple of ones here on the sides. Top load is still fine. Overall engine capacity, overall weight capacity is a little bit of an issue. How many reloads can I fit in here? Just a single one, and I think that dramatically changes the topside loadout. It does. But it makes sense. By the way, your belt coverage 13 inches, 5.5 inches of deck armor. Conning tower and turrets is honestly a little bit not so great. I'm not sure whether we inherited the British proneness to explosions. I don't know. Right, and then there's the question of the surface-to-air missiles. I'm thinking that this guy doesn't necessarily need Heavy SAM. The advantage of Heavy SAM is that it can fly very far. How about we give you one in a midship's position? That's over here. Makes sense. That's a good space. Takes up a lot of weight, and the topside load is also an issue now. But I do think it doesn't matter how much I put here in terms of reloading, at least not for the topside load. So on the flip side, let's reduce a couple of these guys. And honestly, I think we can rip out all of the tertiary guns. Yeah, topside load works, weight doesn't. But we'll need to think about that in a second. But I already think this is a better design. Big question is what are we going to do with the weight? It's not this, it is this here, I think. And I'm almost thinking that we could get rid of the dual purpose stuff. I don't think we need that much. We've got the medium AA guns. I think it's alright. Let's get rid of the dual purpose guns here. We can get better 5-inch guns. Wait a minute, that's weird. I think our 4-inch guns are the best. Okay, let's go 4-inch. Nothing down here. So smaller secondary guns, that's of course an expensive rebuild. But look at the weight, that's pretty nice. Autoloaders would be fun, but the weight isn't actually that bad. So let's go autoloaders instead. And you know what? We could go more aggressive here. Would that be legal? Yeah, because we don't need them to be. That's fun. Yeah, we don't need them to be in dual guns anymore if we don't make them dual purpose. Oh, but they can't be autoloaders. Interesting. So only 2-inch guns can be in an autoloader configuration. Okay, that's unfortunate. But yeah, that would work. Slightly overweight though. Heavy A is a lot lower than it used to be. Let's keep that high. So legal, but we've got some issues. So I think pretty much the only way out of this is to replace the machinery. Even that's not quite enough. It's pretty expensive, but you know what? We want this ship to be good. 90 rounds per gun. These are 16-inch guns. They are pretty strong. How much would we save here? Oh, quite a bit. Quite a bit. Yeah, okay, so I think this is gonna be alright. Looks to me like a good refit. How about a light surface-to-air missile in the aft center line? Doesn't quite work. And I think it's largely due to the missile control system. Yeah, so let's do it this way. Can I change this? Oh, I can. Look at that. Yeah, we're starting to look at 60 million here. I want it to be good. I want it to be good. Notice, by the way, the weight here has reduced a little bit, and I think that's because the UK doesn't have. But that's okay. Let's rebuild it. It's going to be a year for this to be rebuilt. And in the meantime, we don't have any money, which is also a bit of an issue here, right? How much is a percent point? Not that bad. So let's go all the way up to, say, 8. That works, kind of. Right, what do we need then? We need missile countermeasures. We need missile technology. We need shipcraft, shipborne. And you know what? Let's put that to medium. Let's put this to medium. Let's put this to medium. Let's put this to medium. Fleet tactics, not sure. We could put it to medium, I guess. Anti-submarine warfare system? No, I don't think so. Torpedo technology, it's something that we don't think is probably that important anymore. Light forces, ship design, yes. AA fire. Did we have AA fire? You know what? That should be high because I'm still looking for close-in weapon systems. Yeah, let's do it like this. I think that's fine. And the other thing is I wanted to check. So, what do we know about the Brits now? They're a liberal democracy. That's unfortunate. I thought they were something else because they had a revolution coming in for them. So, other than the Soviet Union, we're the only guys with battleships anymore. And battle cruisers. Are we starting to see them becoming relevant? Notice, by the way, that carriers, we are now... I mean, we're still not on par with the US, but we've got 8 against 11, and that was really, really worse some time ago. Notice, by the way, that while we are still going for battleships and battle cruisers, everyone else has made the switch to heavy cruisers. Just out of curiosity, what would a heavy cruiser of this time frame be in the view of the AI? 8-inch guns, dual surface-to-surface missiles, and a couple of heavy and medium surface-to-air missile batteries. You also got a couple of 3-inch guns as secondaries. Whole thing is 50 million, so about as much as we're paying now for the refit. By the way, can I rename you now? Yes. There's only one name that is appropriate for this ship. Tonnage on foreign station is not enough. You guys here are still in the central? No. You're all alright. Okay, so if we sort by displacement, heavy cruisers. One thing that I'm thinking about is we need to consider how we deal with the situation that we are always getting battles in these kind of wars where it's sort of a battle on the edge of our perimeters, and I would like our air bases to play a larger role there. We've got a lot of air bases in places like Hawaii, even in Truk Island, Aleutians, and we've got a lot of motor torpedo boats, which should be missile boats at this point in the game. So I would like to have, just like you, for example, have a cruiser also hang around in this area and actually be able to deal with enemies' small incursions here. It doesn't need to be big, it needs to stay around a little bit to be supported by our lighter forces, basically. So if I think about a destroyer, I don't think destroyers are good, because these guys should of course be, yes, spacious, but they should also have the colonial service thing, and I'm not sure they can. And there are a couple of other things that are apparently not legal. Topside, yeah, destroyers cannot be fitted for colonial service. Light cruisers then? How about you guys? So that would work. Oh, I like the angle of these things. So you would have 6-inch guns and a couple of 3-inch guns. Very few though. Quite a couple of missile batteries. There's surface-to-air missiles. Medium, heavy. You probably wouldn't need that. I think since I would expect you to operate a little bit more alone, I think what we could do... Why are you so different in weight? You don't need to be superimposed. Ah, it's just a heavy and a medium one. Yeah. So if we switch these to that, aft and aft center line, aft and aft center line. Okay, now you're all the same weight. You're just lighter types. That would work, I think. We've got a couple of heavy missiles here. That should be enough to deal with anything that comes too close. This would all be legal, right? No. Okay, too much weight remaining. That's not a big issue. Triple 6-inch turrets. Weird configuration, but okay, I guess. Could think about something like that. So you'd still be capable enough at dealing with enemy air threats and submarines. Actually, you wouldn't have a minesweeping gear, but you would have some mines. That wouldn't be a bad idea. You are a little bit armored. We don't need to be armored. We could design a light cruiser that's not armored. kind of like it. I don't hate it. So, stay seaworthy. Have a couple of defensive installations. Have a couple of things to deal with enemy ships as they're coming along. Got a lot of unused displacement. Your speed is okay. Do we need you to be diesel? We could have you be diesel, but it would be slightly more expensive. But that would also mean better acceleration, and I kind of like that idea. Let's make you a little bit seaworthy by having reduced engine damage here. Topside load is perfectly in line. It's just you still don't have enough weight. And I think there's an issue here. We can't really do more mines, even though I'd love to do that, because we don't have the topside load. Speaking of topside load, though, we can easily just increase this. No, not tubes, just reloads, please. That'll work. Also means we're using a lot more weight here. Okay, let's not use these reloads, but instead increase the amount of tubes. No, sorry, on this one. Oh. I didn't know that the light surface to air missiles would be doing it like that. Can I use a light missile system that goes to the front? Aft and after center line. How about aft? Yeah, okay, aft is looking much better. How about another one to the front? Front superimposed or something? Forward center line. Starboard and port wings. That's a no. Forward center line. There, but it's still only firing to the side. In that case, we can keep it aft. Yeah, I suppose so. Right. Still, we need a lot of missiles. I didn't actually think I'd be designing it this time around, but you know what? That's fine. Slightly more weight here, slightly more weight there, maybe more actual guns. Defend yourself a little bit. That works for me. Weight is still okay. Just out of curiosity, could I add a heavy surface to air missile? And what would be its arc? Okay, its arc, it's better. It's curious, but it also seems to be okay. These guys are not interfering with one another. So how about a medium surface to air missile in the midships configuration? Still okay. Now we only got a weight issue here. And of course the topside issue. No mines. No light guns. The rest is kind of, we have to do that. Well, we could dial this back down. Topside is exceeded, but only a tiny bit. I like it. I'm really starting to like it. Let's make sure that it's looking pretty. That makes a certain amount of sense. Got these guns, we've got these guns. Topside load. What can we really reduce here? Well, a single medium gun and then some mines instead. It's not bad, is it? Well, we could also simply dial this up, right? Yeah. That actually increased the topside capacity quite a bit. Yeah. I think I prefer this. Lots of weight remaining here, which we could invest, I guess, into some more ammo. Yeah. We could also simply extend some of the coverage here. All or nothing. Deck's fine. Let's go for slightly more belt armor then. Well, slightly apparently means very little. It's a light cruiser of 12,000 tons displacement. Still, I like it. This is going to be our new light colonial cruiser, and we're going to try to develop it. Monthly balance is negative, but all in all, it looks actually fine. So that's good. The other thing I'll need to do next time around, or honestly, I'm probably going to do that off screen, is to deal with our carrier situation. Oh, the Hosho is actually active here. And that is, it seems like we don't have enough heavy jet fighters. We are too heavy on the jet attack aircraft, it seems, which I find surprising, but I think that is what we've seen in the last couple of attacks here. So I'm probably going to develop and get the Hijo and Amagi into service. These guys have quite a bit of capacity, and then we're gonna need to see from there. Probably you guys are gonna revisit me once some timing has passed. But for now, I say thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like, and I hope to see you around then. Bye bye.